And it's like tying a ball and chain to our leg that we made a decision that did this. And blah, blah, blah. So for a moment with me now, let's let that all go. This is a month on forgiveness. We did what we did. I mean, it's the only thing we could do at the time with the awareness we had, but we have a different awareness now. No great event happens by chance. It's caused by the decision thinking of a person. So what brave decision are you willing to make in the direction of your dream? Don't answer that question right now. Just entertain that question. So tonight I want to look at, what brave decision is seeking to be made by me? What brave decision is seeking to be made by me? Nothing is impossible to those who decide upon a possibility. So what decision is wanting to be made by me now will be in harmony with the possibility of what matters most to me, Those who decide upon a possibility. The infinite responds, this is important, the infinite, all-knowing, all information, all possibility. The infinite responds when you decide for a possibility. It responds to you. It's a responsive energy. It's intelligent. It responds to you at the frequency of your decision. Infinite responds by corresponding, by becoming the thing that you have determined shall be. So, many, many years ago, 1980, I'd been through, married young, had 4 children by now, had got my undergraduate degree, my master's degree, attended a 2-year seminary, and my biggest dream was to be able to teach transformation to others. And we were living on a berry farm. We'd inherited a berry farm with my husband's brothers, and it was not the life of my dreams. I was willing to serve it for a while because it could be part of serving a larger dream, and my dream was transformational teaching. And I just knew there was I needed to create something. I needed to step out of the pattern I was in. I didn't know how to do it. And so I asked my children's father, Haven, if he'd be willing to do an experiment with me. And so it was off season we had to come back and do the harvest and grow the berries, or harvest the berries, but it was off season. And what if we take the kids for, originally we were going to do it for 6 weeks. It ended up being 10 weeks. And we would travel, and there were 3 places where I knew ministers who would have me speak. And we would just see about living in a travel trailer, and we'd have an adventure at least, and I would have the opportunity to speak to like real congregations, real people. They were big, they were 50 people, most of them 25. These were not large churches. And he said yes, and we set out on an adventure, and we spent 10 weeks going 12,000 miles around the country. And we used up the resources we thought we had at that point. Put that picture back up for a minute. My kid's dad bought this car, a Checker Marathon, the old Checkers that they used to have in New York. This would have become a taxi, but he bought it first, ordered it, and he ordered it in blue. And of course, when I was thinking something very different in the car I was thinking we would get. But he loved that car, and he brought it home, and he was willing to experiment with me. And so we came back, and we were literally in a part of Wyoming or North Dakota or wherever it was called the Badlands, coming back across the country from in the back part of this adventure. And we're just driving, and the thought hit me. This is what brave decision is being asked of me now. The idea lands on me, and I said out loud, I said, if we were going to really do this, we would need to go for a year. And the thought scared me. And it was like, how are we ever going to do that? But I knew that I was in love with the idea. When you are thinking tonight about what brave decision is here for you to be made by you, the thought kind of, but I was in love with the idea. It wasn't an idea or a thought I wasn't in love with. I just had no idea how we could ever do that. But I knew that I was certified to teach K through 8, and my older sons were going to be in 7th and 8th grade the following year. This is now June, I think we're coming back. and we could leave in September. And then we just began to organize around that idea, including buying the car and that car, the marathon, the Checker Marathon, and a travel trailer. And we had to move all our things into storage and walk away from the farm, walk away from everything we had built, and decide for this dream. And I had no idea all the things that were going to be required, but I was saying this to myself: I am doing this thing. I'm doing this thing. We are going to do this adventure. I am a teacher. We are going to do this thing. And by the time we paid for the trailer and the car and moved all our stuff in storage, we had $300 in a dream. Literally, 4 kids, 2 cats, $300, in which we would leave for an entire year on the road. Now, that didn't happen without my having already studied a decade as best I could, with going to seminary and studying transformation. The one thing I had become sure of is that these invisible laws work, and that the variance I was seeing in my results were not an outside force causing them. There wasn't, a God saying, well, you get what you want, you don't get what you want. That's not what was going on. That this was about alignment and about being a match. I knew enough about that, but I didn't know how to do it very well yet. I knew way more about it than I actually knew it inside myself. But I knew that these laws worked, and this was an experiment in stepping out on the practice of working with these laws. What right now, if you worked more with these invisible laws and the way they work, you just might actually be capable of doing this thing that would be the thing that matters most to you. So we left, God bless him, he got window washing equipment also, because he knew how to wash windows. And if we ever got in a spot where I wouldn't have enough speaking money that we could live on and travel to the next place, he would wash the windows and we'd go to the next step. And that's how the first 4 months were very, very lean. And then, so what's happening? I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing it anyway. I mean, we were, one time he did a window washing job, and the woman said, come back later, I'll pay you this afternoon. And when he called to see if this would be a good time to come back and get paid, he overheard her say to her husband, I think this family is living hand to mouth. And we were, it was like, this was the practice of the day. And yet we were on a mission, and it had a purpose to it. I'm doing this thing. Some of you are starting businesses, and the results aren't all you want right now. And what are you telling yourself? I made a decision. I'm doing this thing. And not all the structures of support were there, except my belief in the invisible laws, and that I can't be in harmony with something without it finding ways and means to occur. And I would notice that when I wasn't seeing a step to take or an action to take, I had been dwelling, I had been allowing myself. I was not as developed in noticing what I'm noticing then as I am now. Of course, for all of us, you grow over time. And I would notice that I'd been dwelling in doubt, and I'd been entertaining what could go wrong. And then I would see, less flow in the forms but it was all training. It was all training also. And I look back now, that first trip was a 10-week kind of experiment where we found that the 6 of us could live in a travel trailer together. And the bigger calling was this stage of a year of this work. So we were gone 15 months on the second trip. And I look back on that, and my friend Scott Clement, who has worked in our sound studio, actually he and his partner Jason developed the studio that I'm operating from tonight, in our control room. He gave me a picture last year, a few months ago, that captures, let's make this full screen, guys. Make this picture full screen, okay? Yeah. So you see the actual travel trailer and the actual Checker Marathon cab on the left of that picture. And then if you'll notice that the theater is the Ray Dolby Theater. See the steps leading up to the theater? You fast forward from 1981 to 2000, 21. And that was the last time we did a large Dream Builder Live in person. That was in January of 2020. And then we were no longer able to do it the way we'd been doing it, and that then opened us up to a world of people who could have never come to Dream Builder Live in person. And today we're in 149 countries. And some of you are here tonight and today in the middle of your night because you came. So let's go ahead and make that just a smaller. So I'm not saying this like to impress you about Mary. I'm saying this to impress you about you. That you have the power to make a decision for something you have no idea how to do, but you are passionate about it. And the decision is something that you live into.